How's it going, guys? Hey, I thought I'd do this video about the courts and how they always want you to do a trial, and basically they're inside tricks. Now, I don't think a lot of people really understand that when the courts or the police or the prosecutors or the lawyers all talk about it's the fairest system on the planet, that they uphold your rights and all that other crap. It's just a bunch of lies. Now, when you take a look at it, anybody that has any real education or experience with this, the chance of you winning at a jury trial is very slim. Well, let me back up for a minute. If you have a whole bunch of money to pay the lying dirtbags, they'll do the research and you have a possibility of winning that's greater than if you don't have any money. This is not about being fair. A trial is about a dog and pony show. It's acting, and it's really horrible the way that they get the general population or the masses to believe that it's a fair thing that you go to trial. In fact, they force you to trial because the lawyers on their side, the prosecutors on their side, the judges on their side, and all their rules and hocus pocus and whatever you want to call it, their sorcery and their Ponzi schemes, all play in their favor. It's bizarre. So do you know that if the prosecutor calls a witness, that it can only be used for their benefit? If you call a witness as the defendant, it can be only used for you. I know they cross-examine and they make it look like that it's fair and equal. It's not. Now, the prosecutor can take the police and turn them into a witness, that don't ever lie or manipulate, that always tell the truth. Wink, wink. So it's a one-sided system that's going to make them money regardless if you're guilty or not guilty. They've taken plenty of people, and they do it every day, through this process that are innocent. Yes, they're innocent. But it will deplete their money. It will deplete their equity in their home. Their friends' homes, their families' homes will all be sucked into this system, and you'll pay the attorneys and you'll pay these procedures or these experts. You will pay all of them even to win. Yes, you have the rights to do all these things if you're willing to pay for it. Make no mistake, everybody they accuse, it costs them money. It costs that person money, regardless if you didn't do it. They don't say, if you're innocent, you get this for free, because you don't get it for free. You have to pay. You have to have an attorney. You have to pay bonds. You have to pay fines. You have to pay for procedures. You have to pay for the truth, even though you may be innocent. This is no joke. You would think that you could believe and trust the public officials, but in fact, they're plundering you. So if you take a look at how things work, and you really understand, when you know someone or you yourself go through this process. Now, I had a gentleman call me one time named Dan from Michigan. By the way, Dan, if you're watching this, please call me. My number's below the video. Dan was driving down the road. A raccoon came out. He hit the raccoon. The airbags explode. They knock Dan out. he goes across the medium and he hits someone head on, and that person passed away. Now, 100% that was not Dan's fault. Dan got knocked out. It was basically an act of God. But the prosecutor wanted Dan to do 3 years for it. Now, Dan is a man based on principles, which there are a lot of men in this country that are that way. So by the time Dan was done, Dan had exhausted him and his family's money through this attorney to go to trial to beat a charge that he knew he was innocent for. And they knew he was innocent. Okay? It's bizarre how an accident or an act of God, causes someone to have to sell everything they own, all because a raccoon, he hit a raccoon and it popped the airbags and knocked the guy out. It's horrible. You should have never been charged. This should have never happened, but this drug out for years, and this was a form of torture. And if you've ever been in this situation, that's a very fair analysis of what actually happens when the prosecutor is too smart for his own britches, and he causes you to spend money and have to mortgage your house and your relatives' houses and all that stuff to prove you're not guilty. It's horrible. It's backwards from what everyone tries to tell you in the system. Now, if you don't believe these things are true, or you have an attitude, or you think that I don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't ever studied. You haven't ever looked into it. You don't have a family member or a friend that's had to go through this that was not guilty. They're tortured by the court, and the courts are there to make money and to monetize your actions. And when I say monetize your actions, they can either use your estate money associated with the United States when you became a slave, when they put the money in the account to manage you for your whole life, so they can debit money out of that estate. That account is there at the Treasury. Everyone has that. If you have a Social Security number and a birth certificate, that money is there. Now, approximately 3 years after you pass away, creditors complain or put in a claim, and then a group of attorneys that are assigned as trustees monetize all of those things, and they settle your account 3 years after you pass away. And I know for a fact, because I got a check from my mom's account after she had passed away after 3 years. So trial is a Ponzi scheme. If your lawyer works for them, yes, he'll go through the motions and he'll act. He's an actor. And he will do the opposite of what they do just to make it look good. It's set up. And all of the rules and everything are in the favor of the court and these tyrants. And, all of them are just about Masons, and they're into the sorcery and the trickery and the spells. Look all of this up. Don't take my word for it. So that's a little bit of my thoughts for today. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you soon.